And a very happy Saturday afternoon to you all. Welcome back to Kellogg Arena, where the Broncos finish up this Thursday-Saturday homestand by playing host to the Golden Eagles of Cal State LA. I am Dan Vespers. Thanks so much for joining us. Look at the women's game going here in just a matter of moments as the Cal Poly Pomona women's team suffered their first conference defeat on Thursday at the hands of the number 5 team in the country. And that, of course, the Toros of Cal State Dominguez Hills. It was a hard-fought ball game. Broncos ended up losing 65-61 in a game that they, frankly, outplayed the Toros for about 38 and a half of the 40 minutes. But one disastrous 90-second stretch in the second quarter saw the Broncos get outscored 12-0 and never quite, I say quite, recovered, but did manage to make it a heck of a ball game. Here in this one, they take on a Cal State LA program that's also in pretty good shape, but not quite as far up the rank board as the Broncos are, at least at the moment. Cal State LA 7-3 overall, but they've struggled away from home. They're 5-1 at Cal State LA, and they're 0-2 on the road. A couple of wins at a neutral site. 2-3 in conference play, although 2 of those 3 losses came to the aforementioned Toros, who they've seen twice already. For the visitors, the starting 5, Lily Buggs, the senior guard, will lead the charge for the Golden Eagles. She's the club's leading scorer. Olivia Hodges, 6-foot junior out of Pasadena, is the team's leading rebounder. Not, believe it or not, the center for the team. That is the 6'3 sophomore Amaya Fuentes. So a very big front court for the Golden Eagles, at least in the starting lineup today. Romney Jackson, 5'10 sophomore out of LA. Sophia Fidelis, the 5'5 sophomore out of Pittsburgh in Northern California, make up the rest of the starting 5. For the Broncos, Marquez on the drive gets fouled on the first play of the ball game, and Cookie will shoot free throws. First name Cookie, last name Marquez, 5'8 senior, transfer from Stanislaus State, also played a year at Iowa Western, originally from Sacramento. And she's had a very positive impact on this Broncos team. Good creator, secondary ball handler, along with Kalaya Buggs, the senior Coastal Carolina transfer, although that feels like ages ago. This is Buggs' 3rd season with the Broncos. Each team with a bug, one insect on either side. Kalaya on the Broncos, Lily, as we mentioned, on the Golden Eagles. Rest of the Broncos starting 5, same as last game. Mydrea Moore at the center spot. Boy, did she play a great game against the Toros. Almost willed the Broncos to that win. 1-0 to score here. Buggs a step back 3 ball on the way. That's a really tough shot. And Broncos Buggs gets the rebound. Sydney Nelson, reigning freshman of the year. Brianne Ha corner 3-pointer comes up short. Ha taps the rebound, then gets undercut. Foul's going to be on, I think that's Fuentes lying on the ground. Nope, that is Hodges. That's actually kind of a big foul. Olivia is the force on the boards that the Broncos are going to have the most trouble with in this ball game. Because for all of what Cal Poly Pomona does extraordinarily well, they are not a particularly big team. Moore at 6 feet. She's the biggest. Mydrea, oh, what a move. Couldn't finish it. That was quite an effort. Other players on the floor, we mentioned Sydney Nelson. Moore, Buggs, Brianne Ha, who set the Broncos' single-season 3-point record last year. And right now, she's about 18 away from breaking the Broncos' career record. Marquez, little stutter step in the lane, back outside to Ha. 1-0 Broncos, a minute and change in. Nelson along the baseline, 3 dribbles, spins back to her left, throws it up and over the iron. It's going to be hard to take this team down around the bucket. There's just too much height. And if you're Nelson, you might want to think about what she did about halfway through that last ball game. Fuentes fires a 3-pointer. That's short. Long rebound all the way back out to Fidelis. What Nelson did well against the Toros, instead of taking it into the teeth of the defense, because Dominguez Hills was so good at getting strips, she started pulling up from about just little 6-7 foot jumpers. Foul's going to go on Marquez. And there really wasn't a whole lot the Toros could do. They were backtracking, ready to contest at the rim, Nelson slammed on the brakes and had open looks from just a step outside the restricted area. So not a long shot, kind of an awkward one. But if that's one you practice, then it can be extraordinarily effective. First free throw is no good. Lily Buggs, 5'9" senior. She's out of Long Beach. And Long Beach Poly. That one taken away from Ha. Baseline drive, runner off the mark. Offensive rebound, and a reach-in foul against Brielle Minor. Neither team's made a shot yet. Each club 1 for 2 at the foul line. Lily Buggs for LA with a point. And Marquez for the Broncos with a point. Baseline drive, jump stop, layup try is short. Oh, the rebound comes to a body on the deck. That was Lily. Pull up from straight away, that's off the mark. Mydrea Moore was busy boxing out, didn't see the rebound, came right to her. And a very late whistle. Mydrea was looking the wrong way. She was wisely going to try to put a body on somebody, but the shot came down so abruptly that it skipped right past her. Broncos trying to figure out how to secure a board, which easier said than done against a team as big as Cal State LA. They are an excellent rebounding team. I guess you'd argue to some degree, as that free throw's no good, that you're only as good at rebounding as forcing a miss. And the Broncos have been excellent at that. They are, at least in terms of plus minus, a bigger plus minus in rebounding than the Golden Eagles. The difference, of course, is Broncos do that because overall their defense is just a little better than Cal State LA's. But if you stack them head-to-head, just straight rebounding ability, the starting unit for the Golden Eagles is in a class of its own. Brianne Ha misses an open layup. Struggle for both teams to start the ball game. Both clubs have missed layups. Dribbles into a jumper. Hey, there's a bucket. Fidelis cracks the seal on actual field goals, and whoops, a ball thrown away. It's a running clock right now. Therefore, but went 12 seconds of game time. No reason at all. All right. I'm a little surprised the officials didn't blow the clock dead. That was Jeanette Finet on the Broncos bench who was trying to zip the ball to her teammates so they could inbound it quickly. Kalaya Buggs for 3. It's off the mark. Minor had it, lost it. Go the other way. Anyway, basketball rolled away is the short version. Fidelis trying to take Nelson. Maybe not the best idea. Ball on the ground, and a jump ball will stay with the Golden Eagles. Going one-on-one against Sydney Nelson is not something you do unless you've got her by about 4 inches and 35 pounds, and Fidelis has neither of those. 6 inches shorter. Sometimes you think you can take the taller player. That's unwise. Lily drives, spins, fires, needs a roll, got it. 6-1. Broncos need a bucket. Oddly reminiscent of the men's game on Thursday when nobody could put a ball in a hoop either. Defense hasn't exactly been superlative. This is just a game where everybody's missing. Nelson drives, gets all the way to the rim, and scores. There you go. So the Broncos get their first bucket, 6-3 the score. Let's see if both teams shake their heads side to side, jostle the cobwebs loose. Fidelis tries the 3 with a hand in her face. It's no good. And a loose ball foul going to go against the Golden Eagles. I wondered who the heck they were going to call that on. There are about 6 bodies. At the NBA level, and it's a little bit different here, but at the NBA level, if a rebound hits the ground, it's sort of an indicator that everybody boxed out. Sometimes you see a ball hit the ground here just because the players are not 7 feet tall with wingspans of 9. But that was that type of play. Rebound hit the deck because the Broncos were all boxing out. Nelson needs help, gets it. Broncos will start anew. Brielle Minor into the game. She came in for Kalaya BUGGS. Brielle on the drive, almost shuffled her feet to Moore. Maidrea with the shot clock at 2, loses it. Fidelis on the strip. 2-on-2 break the other way. Sophia bounce inside, stripped by Marquez, but Lily BUGGS chases it down. Lily gets it back, crosses over, fires, nails it, and a foul going to go against Minor. A free throw upcoming for Lily BUGGS on the other side of the timeout. 4:28 showing on the first quarter game clock. And the Broncos yet to get out of bed. They trail at 8-3 here on Flow Sports. And welcome back. One foul shot upcoming for Lily BUGGS. Looking to give the Golden Eagles a 9-3 advantage. BUGGS leads the team in free throw attempts and makes. She's about a 75%er on the year, so not bad. And that one is good. Broncos make a sub on the other side of the foul shot. Minor out. BUGGS and Moore back in. Who else hit the pine? Can't tell. Kalaya around a screen from Nelson. They're trying to give and go. It wasn't there. Sydney now staring at 2 defenders. Decides to take the primary one, and her lefty layup's too strong. Amaya Fuentes at 6'3", 6'4", just a little bit too tall. That was a difficult look. Fidelis. Brianne Ha steps into a long 2. It's a little short. Broncos still with just 1 field goal in the game to this point. A bucket and a free throw. Fidelis, shifty, gets around to the defender. Bounce pass inside, and a foul going to go on Marquez to stop Mary Cotton from finishing at the rim. Again, it's hard to look back and say the Broncos aren't getting good shots in this game. They just cannot make any of them. Haas missed 2 jumpers. Obviously, long jump shots, a little more inconsistent in terms of how often they go down, but they were open. Nelson's gotten to the rim. She's airballed 2 layups. That's the size of Fuentes impacting the ball game. And then at the other end, they're stuck retreating off of Golden Eagles' defensive rebounds, and then they're pushing it. Cotton hits both. It's 11-3. Broncos almost look like they're in a little bit of a Toro's hangover today. Use that term loosely, of course. Just such a hotly contested game that the Broncos wanted so badly and didn't get, and now having some trouble getting up for the next one. Mydaria Moore misses the three-pointer. Putback try from Anderson is fly swatted out of there. Broncos go 0 for 2 on that possession. Fidelis walking into a three-pointer. Oof, that would have broken the bank. Putback try, missed it. Broncos dodged a bullet or two. Still 11-3 as Nelson gets the lead pass from Buggs. Sydney needed to go left. Now she goes left. Pulls up, shoots, missed it. Anderson, putback, missed it. Second try, good, and a foul. That basket looks like it's about the size of a keyhole today. Kamaya Anderson, good effort for the Broncos, the 6'1 sophomore. We talked about it in the game on Thursday. It's a button that head coach Danelle Bishop does not push every ball game, but there are opponents where Kamaya makes a ton of sense, and this is one of them. At 6'1", maybe bigger than that, 6'2" perhaps. Kamaya clearly the largest player on the Broncos, and they just need size right now. Cotton's 5'11", Fuentes is 6'3", Hodges is 6 feet, although Olivia's out of the ball game right now. Standstill three-pointer, good. Ronye Jackson, undeterred by the Broncos defense. 14-6. Broncos hoping to get a little, any kind of momentum. And the Golden Eagles snatched it right back. Anderson, a little too far away, back to Nelson. Now Sydney crosses over, drives, has it stripped away, but there's a whistle. I believe that's the 5th foul on Cal State LA. Well, presumably free throws coming for Nelson. Where's everybody going? Oh, just a chat. Foul was on Jackson. I don't feel like we've had that many stoppages, although it's 5 fouls on both teams. Nelson misses the free throw. Sydney 75%er this year at the line. It's an area where she's made steady improvement. A laundry list of reasons why the Broncos have been such a formidable opponent so far this year. Jackson thought about the three, lost the dribble. They go to the ground. Buggs has it. Kalaya trying to get rid of it. Nobody around. Takes the jump ball, and it'll be Broncos basketball anyway. It was a smart play by Buggs not to get rid of that ball. There were 3 Golden Eagles nearby, and the Broncos kind of screened out. So rather than risk turning it back over, she said, all right, just somebody grab a hold of this thing. 14-7. Broncos a chance to get it down to 5 or 4. Buggs to Nelson, shot clock at 10. To Anderson inside. Kamaya jumped before she put the ball on the deck. That's a turnover. That's one of those ones too that is avoidable. It was just a rhythm move. Kind of bounced and then got rid of the pass. Pull up short jump shot is too strong. Good box out by Nelson. Broncos going the other way. No advantage on this one, although Ha finds herself open. Three-pointer. Got it. 17 to go for Brianne Ha, chasing history here at Cal Poly Pomona. And after all this mess of a quarter, the Broncos have it down to just a 4-point hole. Lily Buggs, difficult shot, straight out of bounds. A score here, and Cal Poly would be able to wipe out a disastrous first 7 minutes. Buggs on the drive, and walked. Whoops. They were trying to go 2 for 1, get the shot up quickly. possession ended quickly, just not the way they wanted. Broncos bringing the double team in the backcourt. Not what you'd call a full set of pressure, a little bit. Bounce pass, jumper, good. Broncos can hold for the final shot now, down 6 again. 16-10. Could be worse, I guess, given how rough the start of this game was. Score here would certainly wake things up. Andrea Moore has it with the game at 11. Brianne Ha trying to get one off. Hesitates, bounces, runner off the window. No, but a late whistle. It's a second foul call that's come after the shot missed. One on the Golden Eagles side. This one now for the Broncos. So Brianne Ha, who has regained her status as a premier foul shooter. Last was a weird season. For someone who shoots as well as Brianne does, to see the struggles she had at the foul line last year, very unusual. Just kind of needed to take a long rest, needed the between season breaks, and now she's back up around 87%. Half-court shot, that'll count. It will not go, and the quarter is done. Broncos hang in there. No offense for 6.5, 7 minutes. Broncos wake up over the first quarter's final 3 and cut their deficit down to just a 4-point hole. 16-12 the score, and we'll go to quarter number 2 when we come back on Flow Sports.
The 2024-25 season marks the 50th year of Cal Volleyball women's basketball. Since their first season in 1974, the Broncos have become the most successful program in Division II women's basketball, holding the record with 5 national titles. They also have a conference record of 24 regular season titles with 11 conference tournament championships.
Golden Eagles with the ball to start the second quarter. Welcome back, everybody. Dan Besbris with you here at Kellogg Arena, where the Broncos find themselves down 4. A messy first quarter, but a good finish and a nice start to the second quarter for Mary Cotton and the Golden Eagles to go back up by a half dozen at 18-12. Broncos had only 3 points on the board through the first 6.5 minutes of the game, as Brianne Ha tries a baseline floater that's not close. Managed to get the offense cooking a little bit over the final 2.5, 3 minutes of that frame. A walk will go the other way. Broncos have trailed by as many as 8. They're currently down 6. Kind of stemmed the tide. Now they need a little run. A couple of buckets in a row got it down to 4 at one point. They haven't been closer than that since the very start. They led this game 1-0. Nelson, long 2-pointer on the way. Yep, almost went down. Offensive rebound, and the putback is good. That's Alexis Woodson, her first action of the afternoon, making an impact. The offensive rebound, cleaned it up. Quick trigger 3-ball, and that one didn't touch anything. Pass inside, deflected by Ha twice, comes back out to Nevaeh Asiasi. Nevaeh, series of moves, spins back baseline, swallowed up by Moore, but that's going to be a foul on Maedrea. Almost got herself in trouble. The free throw's coming for Asiasi. Nevaeh, the 5'8" junior. Out of, it's a Northern California night once again. That's what I'm talking about here. Broncos got to find a way to get a couple scores in a row. Asiasi, a 69% foul shooter, and here makes them both. Well, back to 6 again. Buggs thought about the 3. Runner instead, no. And we'll go the other way, and the Broncos at a disadvantage right now. 3-on-2 break. Shovels, 3-ball, no. Woodson the rebound. Snatched it out of the sky and brought it down. If anybody could make a 3-pointer, this game might change in a hurry. Whoa. Broncos nearly throw it away. Moore from Ha. Maedrea caught a seam, gets bumped. There's the whistle. Smart play. Defense thought a dribble handoff was coming, and they opened up the path to the bucket. Moore put it on the deck and gets free throws. It's been fun to see the growth from Moore, who again has been pressed into additional opportunity with the on and off health of Jeanette Finet this season. Jeanette played in 6 of the Broncos' 11 ball games. Moore misses the foul shot. Finet's the second leading scorer on the team when she's in there. An absolute force, but just can't quite get that body right now. Moore makes 1 out of 2, so Maedrea stepped into a much larger role now, playing about 26, 27 minutes a night as a starter. And leading the team in rebounding at over 6 a game. 5-point hole again. Can the Broncos get a stop this time down and a score? That's one way to do it. And they threw it away. Can't do that. And we'll go back the other way. Sloppy 15 seconds of basketball. 2 turnovers for the Golden Eagles, 1 for the Broncos on that. You're going to call it 1 possession, technically 3. Seven minutes to go in the first half. Buggs right down the lane. She gets hit, throws it up and in. Kalaya Buggs went 80 feet herself on that play. Defense swarming around her, but no one ever really got in front. It was just this array of swipes trying to get a steal, and finally Buggs was like, all right, you guys are going to be running around me. Little satellite moons. I'm just going straight to the bucket downhill. Free throw's good. Broncos trail by only 2. So this is the little mini run we're talking about. 6-point lead, shaved by 4. Long lead pass the other way. Broncos got caught napping. The full court press did not work. Buggs has it taken away for a moment. Here comes Nelson. Crosses over. Spins back right. Off the window. Good. Sweet move by Sydney Nelson. Broncos taking it to the rack right now. Uh-oh. A no-look pass and a bucket the other way. That was a sweet look, too. Back-to-back nifty plays on each side now. Buggs, hand check. Golden Eagles racking up personal fouls in this second quarter. Jerry Moore got tripped up, somehow gets it to Minor. Back to Ha. Brienne straight on for three. It's a little short. Rebound tipped out wisely. We'll go the other way quickly now. Golden Eagles leading by 4 on the break. Minor punches it out of bounds. Stops the fast break opportunity. You can see on that 3 ball from Ha, just barely had her weight going the wrong direction. There's the step back, but then you got to make sure that the weight stops going away from the rim, because the fadeaway makes it a little bit too hard. And Brand was fading just a little. Ashanti Diaz nails it over Minor. Back to a 7-point hole. Broncos got it down to 2. And 5 right back for the Golden Eagles. Every time right now, Cal Padrona tries to go on a little run. LA answers. 5.5 minutes to go in the frame. Nelson. Not much spacing at the moment. Minor, back out to Ha. Long distance 3, no. Underneath, offensive rebound, and then a foul will send Woodson to the line. Good fight under there from Alexis, the Stanislaus State transfer. Woodson and Marquez familiar with one another. Alexis already has a putback off her first offensive rebound. Collect a couple more points at the charity stripe. The Monte Vista High School product. Giving the Broncos some important bench minutes. She's got 4. Still down 5 though. Teams just kind of exchanging 2 bucket runs right now. Broncos got it down to 2, it's back up to 7. Broncos get it down to 3, it's back up to 6 or 7 again. Pull-up J is short. Another rebound for Woodson. And Alexis almost did it herself. There goes Ha. Cut off by a zone double. Minor to Woodson. Now Nelson. Thought about going around the screen and then gets hip checked. That was an unnecessary foul, and it's going to mean free throws for the Broncos. That's a big break. Nelson was just standing there, and a defender went shoulder first into her right flank. 5th foul already on the Golden Eagles in the second quarter. They are scraping and clawing and getting called for it. 27-22 the score. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. Broncos down 5, and Nelson free throws when we come back here on Flow Sports. 4:48 to go in the opening half. Second quarter almost exactly midway done. Halfway done. Sydney Nelson all the way done with both foul shots. Makes them both. Broncos again back to within 3. Can they get up and over the hump this time? Back into a full court press. That has backfired twice in the game already. Not this time. Created a little bit of a frantic pace. Broncos get a turnover after the Golden Eagles crossed half court. They thought they had an opening. It wasn't there. 27-24. Dan Vespers with you here at Kellogg. Alexis Woodson, some good bench minutes for the Broncos. To Nelson. Sydney backing up in some congestion. Now drives around the defender. Step through. Missed it. Not a bad move to get open at the end of that. Just flipped it a little bit too far. Inside they go to Fuentes. Back out again. Three-pointer on the way. Whoa, look out. And a jump ball. Broncos not thrilled about it, but they'll have possession, so silver lining for the home team. That's Hunter Hudson in the game. The redshirt freshman out of Palmdale. Had the rebound, thought she got pushed. Didn't get that whistle. Buggs down the lane to Woodson. Open on the baseline and missed it. She thought she had that one. She was headed back down the other way. It was right on line, just a couple inches too strong. Impossible shot. If that went down, I would have lost my mind in a good way. Ashanti Diaz, perhaps ill-advised. Inside, Hudson, uncontested, 1-point game. Good look from Buggs. Defensive breakdown, and a rare one so far by the Golden Eagles. Broncos 6 straight on this run. Does Cal State LA have another answer? Lily Buggs to Cassell. Ashari Cassell into the game for the first time. Fuentes has it poked away, chases it down. Three-pointer, air ball. Hudson the rebound. Great defense by the Broncos the last 2 or 3 sets. Chance to take the lead. Ha fakes the three, drives, gets a little contact, throws it off the window, missed it. Got her own rebound though. Not really Brienne's cup of tea going into traffic. More the Broncos' outside threat. Buggs driving, throws up a crazy shot, but felt contact first. Although, there are 2 sides to that one. It's a 7th foul this quarter on Cal State LA. Broncos have only been whistled for 1. Those tend to even out over the course of a ball game, so don't be surprised if the Broncos get hit with a few rapid fire at some point. Subconscious, but it happens. Smart play by Buggs to get the contact. Didn't need to throw the ball up at the rim, but hey, you never know if it goes down. And the Broncos now draw back even again. 7-0 run. We were wondering if either team had one of these types of spurts in them. 27-27, still a low-scoring affair, but compared to that first quarter, this one a big turnaround. And the Broncos have their first lead since 1-0. They can thank the free throw line for it as well. Fuentes, cross-court pass to Jackson. Back to Fuentes. That one taken away by Nelson. Sydney going coast to coast, lays it up and in. 10-0 run, Broncos. Nelson's one-on-one defense is among the best in the conference. Going inside now, trying to use a little bit of size. Power move, turnaround jumper, that's good. Nice play by Mary Cotton, who's been critical in this game, kind of settling things down in a difficult second quarter for LA. Hudson. Woodson and now Hobb. Brienne hesitates, steps back, fires over the defense, missed it wildly. Shot clock still at 10 on the air ball. There's the countdown coming. Buggs got to get something going to the rim now. Kalaya, baseline drive, outside. Woodson, three-pointer, no. That was to beat the shot clock, almost went down. Broncos lead by 1. Cal State LA now a chance to retake the lead. The quarter clock runs under a minute. That three-pointer short, however. If the Broncos get a shot off in about the next 5 seconds, they can go 2 for 1. I don't think they want to rush it that much, though. Nobody's shooting well, as evidenced by the 59 combined points. Broncos just looking for a good look right now. Nelson has a good look, but it blocked. Shot clock at 8. Sidney going back to work again. The defender falls back, and Sidney scores. That's just a power move right into the chest of Mary Cotton. 32-29, 9 seconds to go. One-on-one against Nelson. A step through, and a layup is good. Wow. That's how the first half is going to end. 32-31. Broncos come back from down 8. They'll take a 1-point lead into halftime. That was a defensive struggle of a first half, but it ends up going ever so slightly in the direction of the home team. Enjoy the break. We'll be back in about 13 and a half minutes. Give you some highlights, stats, and thoughts from half number 1 when we come back. Halftime here at Kellogg Arena as you watch the Broncos and Golden Eagles on Flow Sports.
The Broncos secured their first ever NCAA Division II National Championship, defeating Minnesota State 2-1. This victory represents the culmination of an extraordinary season, highlighted by resilience, strong leadership, and the unrelenting determination of a championship squad. The Broncos' victory in this historic match marks the culmination of a season filled with hard work, dedication, and growth both on and off the field. The 2024 NCAA Division II Men's Soccer National Championship stands as a testament not only to the skill and resilience of the players, but also the leadership of Coach Jim Mason and the unity of this exceptional team. Let's take a look at some of the footage from NCAA Championship weekend.
And welcome back from halftime, everybody. Dan Besbris with you here at Kellogg Arena, where the Broncos taking on the Golden Eagles of Cal State LA. Fell behind early in this ball game and were scraping to get back in it, trailed by as many as 8, 6, 7 multiple different times. And then all of a sudden, Cal Poly Pomona put together a 10-0 run. They were down 27-20, led 30-27. The teams exchanged a couple of buckets to finish off the first half, and we went into halftime with Pomona leading 32-31 after 20 minutes of action. Golden Eagles shooting 37% from the field. Broncos just 30, but they've scored an extra 4 points at the free throw line. Both teams, for the most part, making their foul shots in this game. Turnover battle's been pretty even, not many really on either side. Broncos low on assists in the game, and that you could see for a large portion of it. Just not much going towards the rim, and a lot of misses. Hard to get assists when it's not going down. For the visitors, they're led by 12 off the bench from Mary Cotton, who's had a huge first half. I don't know where they'd be without her. Broncos spread around a little bit, although Sydney Nelson with 11 leading the pack on the Broncos side. And a walk on the first possession of the second half is going to give it to Cal Poly Pomona. Buggs and Ha have 5 apiece. Brianne is 1 for 9 in this game. Just can't get it to go down, although a lot of those have been drives and kind of awkward runners. Not really her normal shot profile. Broncos got to find a way to get Brianne open on a jump shot. Looking inside and a wide open Cookie Marquez. A give and go from Brianne Ha gives the Broncos back their largest lead of the game, which they had a couple of times at the end of that second quarter, at 3 points. Maya Fuentes, Lily Buggs, Ronye Jackson, who takes a three-pointer that's not remotely close. Olivia Hodges also out on the floor. Kalaya drives, pull-up jumper, wide left. Mydrea Moore the rebound. Sophia Fidelis is the last Golden Eagle. Same as the starting 5. Broncos starting 5 on the floor as well. Buggs, Moore, Nelson, Ha, and Marquez. Mydrea on the reverse, but did she walk first? Yeah, she did. That play was the very narrow difference between gathering before taking that extra step and gathering after taking that extra step. And Mydrea gathered early. Fuentes, corner 3 for the tie. It's short. Long rebound. Marquez will let roll out of bounds. Broncos coming back towards their own bench now. More towards the northern end of the building. Nelson cut off by the taller Fuentes. Dribbles it off the foot of Fuentes. We'll try again. Shot clock at 14. Players are checking a slippery spot. We do. A nonchalant wiping, and away we go. Inside to Moore. Mydrea turns back to the right. Couldn't get the layup to go. Nelson keeps it alive and then has it poked away by Fidelis. But the Broncos will get another look at it. Good hustle from Sydney Nelson, who got flat-tired right out of her right high top on the play. Fits and starts to begin this frame. A wet spot, a shoe. Sydney hard at work. One over the other. Rabbit ears. Double knot. Bang, ready to go. Shot clock at 19. Broncos got the full reset on the offensive rebound. To Moore, just inside the foul line. Mydrea shoots straight away, knew she had missed it, knew where it was going, and then knocked it out of bounds. Still 34-31. Broncos have the only points of this third quarter. Double team. Fuentes 3 ball. That's it. Broncos brought pressure. Golden Eagles got out of it quickly. Now trying to go quickly the other way. Moore back out to Buggs. Kalaya for 3. Nope. Broncos whacking at it. Moore had it. Lost it. Another three-pointer. No. Oh, someone's got to go get that rebound. A lot of Broncos standing and watching. Try it again. And missed it. Oh, nasty collision. Ouch. And everybody's up now. Foul was on Kalaya BUGGS. Broncos wondering why it was on their player, and everybody's going for the ball. Honest to goodness, I would have liked to hear the explanation. I don't know. 34-34. Inbound pass to Lily BUGGS. Her three-pointer is short. Good box out by Hogg. And the box and the rebound. Marquez. Back to BUGGS. On the logo, which of course here stretches from three-point line to three-point line. It is a jumbo size. Just no room at all to operate. Someone had to move there. Rayanne Haas gonna have to bail him out. Nope, just threw it away. Just take a shot on that play. And what? Is that a walk? All right. Inbound to Marquez. Cookie tees up a three and drills it. Cookie Marquez knocks down the long-range shot. There haven't been many of them for the Broncos. That one stripped. Ooh, almost went off the leg of Fidelis. Official gave a quick explanation to Nelson, who said, didn't that hit her in the leg? Official said, ball actually bounced out of bounds first, then came up and hit her in the leg. That I could see from up here. I don't see them all, saw that one. 37-34. Broncos leading this third quarter 5-3. 4 minutes in again. They started the ball game all over again. Hodges on the interior, shoots over the defense and scores. Power move. Back to a 1-point lead. Marquez going back to work again. There it is. Cookie got hot in that game against the Toros. Shot 7 for 11. He's really the one Bronco to have a 50% game or better. And she's hit 2 straight in this third quarter. Kickball. Brielle Minor going to tap in for the Broncos. Ronye Jackson back in on that Golden Eagles side. Ashanti Diaz, by the way, checked in at the previous dead ball. Lily BUGGS on the drive, no back line of defense. And the Broncos trip her up on the way to the hoop. Free throws now for BUGGS on the LA side. So Lily back to the free throw line. Three out of 4 in the ball game. That's right on her season mark. Who needs a large sample size? 7 points, 4 boards. Leads the team in scoring at about 13.5 per game. And back to a 1-point lead again. Back and forth we go. Brielle Minor. When Minor's in her element, she's getting fouled. Oh, quick move to the rim. Runner. Yeah. I did everything and then spilled out. Broncos got to get back now. Fuentes back to Buggs. Left side DS. Fakes the three. And Nelson had it, lost it. Buggs to the ground. Nelson had it, lost it again. Sydney's everywhere. Broncos just can't secure it. 4:34 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break. Broncos lead it 39-38. Back and forth we go in a low-scoring third frame on Flow Sports. Cookie Marquez putting up most of the points for the Broncos in this third quarter. They lead it by 1. Three-pointer, that looks high. Whoa, almost banked it in. Well, a rebound out of bounds. It'll stay with the Golden Eagles. Right out of the hands, that shot looked way off, and it was almost so far off that it clanged its way off the window, ended up pinging back out again. Well, still a 1-point lead. One more try now, at least, I guess. So Fuentes looking inside, fires it out of bounds. Pass intended for Ashanti Diaz, who's 5'1", and it was thrown for someone who was about 6'5". Marquez looking for another one. Nope. Wind caught it. First miss of the game for Cookie. From the field. Looking inside at Hodges. Olivia scored a minute ago. Fires it outside. Buggs into the corner. Diaz. 3-ball, and that's good. Ashanti Diaz puts the Golden Eagles back on top by 2. Broncos were there, just a better shot. Comes Nelson going to work. Just no spacing again. Try again. Runner. Blocked out of bounds. Stay with the Broncos. Shot clock at 6 as Buggs comes back in for Marquez. So Cookie gets a break. Gonna have to find the offense somewhere else. Broncos have scored 7 points in the quarter, 6 points in the quarter. Most of them have been Marquez. Nelson's got to get a shot up quick. 5, 4, 3. Yeah, not going to even get one up. And now Bishop wants a timeout. Broncos look tired and irritated. They just need an energy infusion right now. 3:12 to go in the quarter. Broncos taking a 30-second timeout. Did that get switched or no? No. Oh, now everybody's sitting down, so maybe it did. All right, we'll go ahead and step aside. Broncos down to a deuce. Golden Eagles ball when we come back on Flow Sports. Take a quick break. Well, the Broncos enjoyed a lead for most of this third quarter. They now find themselves back behind by 2, 41-39, Golden Eagles basketball. Cal State LA has hit a couple of three-pointers in the frame. Nobody's scoring again. We had a pretty normal second quarter by all accounts. Better one for the Broncos than the visitors, but first quarter, nobody could score. Third quarter, nobody could score. So every bucket feels like conquering a demon. Uh-oh. Oh. Very nearly saved that one in time. Shot clock ran out, or the Broncos would have watched one go out of bounds to their demise. Instead, 30-second shot clock violation. Good defense until the last quarter second. Didn't burn him. A minor will set things up. Brielle to Moore. Andrea back to Brielle. Now Buggs. 3 Broncos right next to each other. This again created a lot of congestion. Looking over the top to Maedrea, and no. Goes off her face and out of bounds. The spacing on offense right now is not great, which you can understand with no Marquez out there. Brianne Haas, kind of the only Bronco that's a threat from downtown. So the defense sagging back. And the Broncos unable to run off the miss because of the 30-second violation. Whoa, off the side of the backboard. Jackson drives, her pass deflected, right back to Diaz. Shot clock at 1, Ashanti doesn't see it, and another 30-second violation, 2 in a row. Marquez coming back in. Probably for what we talked about, which is a little bit of room to operate on offense. You just have to have the threat of a three-pointer. Buggs driving left into a triple team. Defender falls down, back to Haas. Straight away for 3. No. Nelson, rebound, put back. Good. Tie ball game. Kalaya Buggs may have gotten banged on the knee. She was still getting up at the end of the play. A rare open miss for Brianne Ha. Just doesn't have the laser sight calibrated today. Broncos will have to do it some other way. Fuentes had it, goes around the screener, shot. Oh, that looked like a pretty good block. Tough whistle. We told you it was going to bounce back the other way, right? Broncos have been called for 3 fouls in this third quarter. The Golden Eagles, 0. Remember how we talked about that in the second quarter? It was starting to feel lopsided towards the Broncos. It always evens out. Fuentes misses the first foul shot. I don't think the officials are doing it on purpose. Amai, by the way, only 3 for 4 at the free throw line this year in almost 300 minutes of action. Her going to the rack, kind of a rarity. Typically more of an outside shooter. Pretty good one overall. She does have a 3-ball in this third quarter. And 1 of 2 at the foul line to put Cal State LA back on top by 1. Buggs out, Minor back in. Moore, long 2-pointer is short. I don't know how that wasn't a jump ball, but okay. Jackson on the drive, down to the ground, throws it out of bounds. Good frantic defense by the Broncos, forces the turnover. Kalaya Buggs going to get summoned back into the game. No, tried to. Torino Johnson, the head coach of Cal State LA since 2019. He's assisted by David Elliott, Cameron McClinton, and Sabrina White. He's saying, slow down, everybody. We're both trying to do subs. Now Bishop in her 15th year at the helm of this Broncos women's program, assisted by Lorenzo Griffin and Haley Sorrett. Broncos will wind clock now, playing for the last shot in this third quarter, trying to get back in front. Buggs, a runner. Oh, just long. Got her own rebound. Putback try hits the bottom of the backboard. Nelson, outside Minor. Three at the end of the quarter. No. Knocked away by Buggs, but ran out of time. That shot will not count. Upset with herself. Missed two open ones in the trailing minutes of that third quarter. And the Broncos, unable to capitalize on a few good looks, find themselves down one as we head to the fourth in a low-scoring affair here on the Saturday afternoon. 42-41, Golden Eagles in front on Flow Sports. Broncos will have the ball to start the fourth quarter, a pivotal 10-minute stretch now, and a one-point ball game. First of our Saturday afternoon doubleheader here on Flow Sports. I'm Dan Vespris with you once again. The Broncos trying to get Marquez open. Bounces to Nelson. Sydney had a free throw line look, didn't want it. And now the Broncos got to do something quick. Minor into the corner. Buggs for three. On line and knocks it down. Broncos, as a team, kind of throwing their hands up to the sky as if to say, finally on the long ball. CSC thought about getting it back. Her pass almost thrown away. Running jumper, not close. Long rebound comes out to Brienne Ha and the Broncos, who lead now 44-42. Minor on the drive, gets to the rim, throws it up, missed it. Nelson was there for the rebound, but kind of overran it by a step. Nevea, CSC, Lily Buggs, Amaya Fuentes, Ronye Jackson, and Olivia Hodges, the five on the floor for the Golden Eagles. Hodges has it on the right block now, backing in on Minor. Shoots over Minor and missed it by a mile. And she's on the ground now with a turned ankle. Broncos have a 5-on-4. Ha, back to Buggs. Minor, open three ball, short. Not going to get a better look than that. Here comes a CSC the other way. Straight to the rim, stripped by Buggs. Nice hands by Kalaya. And now the Broncos, do they have numbers? Not really, more of a 3-on-3. So Kalaya slows it down, crosses over, gets by the defense, lost the ball, got it back, and scored anyway. How? I think the Broncos are going to take a timeout. Lily Buggs, Kalaya Buggs, coast to coast after the steal. Brought into the front court, slowed it up, went fast again, lost control of the ball on her way up, and then with the palm of her left hand just kind of shoved it up towards the backboard. That 30-second timeout being stretched into a full, the officials tell us, so we will take a commercial break. You are watching Broncos basketball on Flow Sports. Cal Poly Pomona leading by 4. The timeout after the made bucket is always one of those things that throws me for a loop at the college level. I get it. You want to slow the opposition down, take your momentum, set your defense, make life even harder on the opposition. But I'm just never ready for it. A CSC lefty three-pointer right side. That was Kiara Walter, who hadn't played much in the ball game, but got in there and jacked one up quickly. Missed it, however. BUGGS initiating for the Broncos. Handoff Ha. Brienne just has not had the range in this one, so goes to the rim, throws it up, and couldn't get it to go. Nelson almost on the rebound, lost it out of bounds. I'd like to see Brienne on a drive like that. Go to the hesitation move, one more big dribble, and then slam on the brakes rather than trying the runner. 15-foot jumper, that might be the ticket. The ball was kicked. 7:20 to go, Broncos 46, Golden Eagles 42. Lily BUGGS cut off on a double team, shoots over it and missed. And Brielle Minor, the rebound, comes out of the pack quickly and then slows down. A little bit of a throwback game for the Broncos. Kalaya BUGGS, Sydney Nelson. That one poked right to Marquez. Cookie into the defense, has her shot rejected. Mary Cotton's played a great game. Product of Lathrop, California. If I had a goofy story about a Quality Inn in Lathrop, that's for another day. It's not a big place. BUGGS, another three-pointer. Oh! Kalaya BUGGS has found the range late in this ball game. She's up to 13 points and has 8 in the fourth quarter already. All 8 for the Broncos. Lily BUGGS on the drive. No whistle there. I thought Minor got her on the lower body, but no call for BUGGS. Kalaya BUGGS, drive, kick. Can Brienne get that one to go? There it is. Brienne Ha finally gets one to drop. A difficult day that had seen her go 1 for 12 prior to that three-pointer. But a big shot late puts the Broncos up by 10, their largest lead of the ball game. And a flurry here. The first 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the fourth quarter, all Cal Poly Pomona, an 11-0 run. We'll step aside. Timeout, Golden Eagles. 52-42 the score on Flow Sports. Golden Eagles looking for an answer right now. All game long they've had one, but this fourth quarter has seen the Broncos put together their best sustained offensive run of the ball game. Kalaya BUGGS and Brienne Ha. Cotton to try to get 3 back, wide right, but the putback is good. CSC cleans it up. That snaps an 11-0 Broncos run. Heavily Kalaya BUGGS. She's got 8 of them. Brianne Ha, the other 3. Buggs around the screen from Minor. A CSC picks her up. The pass goes inside to Moore. Maidrea, 3 dribbles, or that's Nelson underneath. Gets hit on the way up by Fuentes. Couldn't even see the player. Completely obscured by the 6'4" sophomore Amaya Fuentes. But Nelson got low and then went up through the arms. Drew the contact. She'll shoot 2. First free throw is too strong. Nelson, kind of a quiet 13 points. Only 1 steal. He has about 20 knockaways, but they aren't going to the right team for whatever reason. Now 14-7, leads the team in rebounding today. Broncos have needed the big lift from Kalaya Buggs, one of their veterans, and she's brought it. Saved it until the last quarter, but counts all the same. Fuentes into the double team, scores it, and a foul. Minor came over on the double, tried to get the strip, and apparently made arm-to-arm contact. We're all not thrilled with the ruling. Thought she was on the ball. Would have been a bucket anyway. Fuentes' free throw's good. Back to a 6-point lead for the Broncos. Ball game's a long way from over. And certainly you'd rather be up 6 than down at this juncture. They're blitzing the double team now. That also means that someone's open. Nope. That had no chance. I don't really know what Ha was doing on that play. Terminated the dribble too soon and then tried to hand it off to a teammate, but there was a Golden Eagle in between them. Broncos, I think, should be pleased that it was only a jump ball, so at least the possession arrow now flips back over. It's almost like a half turnover when it's on a jump ball. A CSC on the drive. Good defense by Ha. Fidelis took a lot of shots early in this game. She's been quiet later. Fuentes driving, stripped, punched towards the sideline, comes back to her somehow, and a desperation heave hits the back of the iron. And Nelson gets whacked. They're just letting it go. Sydney, a step-through move. Euro step. Sydney Nelson to the bucket. 8-point lead once again. There's just defenders bouncing off of her on that play. Broncos daring Cotton to take the 3. She does and missed it. Brianne Ha the rebound. Minor, low dribble, spins off the defense, gets to the rim, scoops it up and in. That was a center of gravity move. Brielle Minor low dribbling around the defense and then just spun off. Fuentes has the big time size advantage. She shoots and misses. Gets her own rebound though. Outside, a CSC. Driving right down the lane. Nobody picked her up and she scores. And a timeout now going to be taken by Torino Johnson. Golden Eagles want a 30-second break. Broncos up 8 after that CSC bucket. Just a heads up, this is the first half of our double afternoon basketball on this lovely Saturday. I'd say it's a great day for basketball, but we're indoors. Every day is a great day for basketball. But they could have played it outside. 64 and partly cloudy right now in Pomona. So yes, wherever you are, probably be jealous. The dead of winter. Broncos will inbound after the Golden Eagles timeout. Leading 57-49, trying to get a new win streak, I guess, would be 1. Lost their last one to Dominguez Hills almost If the Broncos could have knocked off, or coulda, shoulda, I guess, nearly a double dribble. Marquez back into the game. Broncos, remember, beat Montana State Billings to knock off a top 5 team already once this year. But just came up the tiniest bit shy against the Toros, who still, when you think about that ball game, a lot of really good experience for the Broncos, kind of seeing the way the Toros play. It's just different. Fidelis lost the basketball, turns around, fires an air ball over the rim. Nelson coming out of the pack with it, still having trouble getting the control of the basketball. Now into a quadruple team, and she's fouled. That was about the best possible outcome for Pomona. Broncos in their home whites. Headed right to left in this second half. It's kind of the same way the game started. Nobody could score in the third. Broncos woke up in the second. Nobody could score back in the first and, I guess, and third frames, we should say. And then the Broncos have had more success in the second and fourth. Buggs with the shot clock at 7th. She's playing like she's got an extra 10. That wasn't much. There are so many things that this Broncos team does extraordinarily well. The one thing that jumps out is at the end of games with a lead, you feel like you want to run a lot of clock, but getting started at about the 7-second mark, it gives you absolutely no margin for error at all. Running it down, running 30 seconds off is almost as important as a bucket, but you just want to get something. Fuentes, big three-pointer on the way. No. Rebound on the ground. Buggs has it, and now the Broncos can slow it up again. You could understand maybe getting into your offense at about 10, 11, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Miner had it stripped away. She's going to go herself. Gets fouled. And the Broncos will take it. Golden Eagles almost got the steal, but then ended up out of position on defense. Man, if Miner can get her shoulder in front of you, there's just not a whole lot you can do. 5'9" sophomore. Started her collegiate career at Cal State Fullerton. She's out of Santa Monica originally. Played at Samo High. What's that at? 4th and Pico, if I'm getting that right. Yeah, I live in West LA. What of it? 59-49. Broncos by 10. Starting to feel a little better about their fortunes. Fidelis moving left, steps back and fires. Air ball. Marquez has it. Hodges is on the ground. Miner on the outlet. Broncos now can start to just run 30 seconds off. Once you're up 10 at this juncture, that's a different beast. Then up 10 with 3 minutes to go. Brianne Ha, dagger on the way. Oh, that would have ended it. Hodges, runner, no. Got the rebound, then fell down. Kalaya Buggs for the Broncos. And just not enough time now for the Golden Eagles to come back. This will be a win for the Broncos when we get there. All you need to do at this point is run 30 seconds off. Buggs gets fouled anyway. 45 seconds to go. Broncos, pun intended here, needed their horses in this game, and they got them. Kalaya Buggs woke up with a big fourth quarter, depending on how these free throws go. Scored the first 8 points of the frame to push that Broncos lead up. Sydney Nelson 16-9, the quietest 16-9 game of her Broncos tenure. Buggs also with 4 steals and 4 assists, only 1 turnover. Just a very clean, effective ball game for Kalaya. On a day when Brianne Ha, but for that three-pointer late and one very early, just couldn't get a ball to fit through a hoop. Brianna has 8 points, but it took her 14 shots to get there. Needed her teammates to pick her up in this one, and they did. That's the story of a game that first to 60 wins. Can you get points? That's been the question from the outset. Timeout on the floor, 61-49. Broncos by a dozen. With the win coming up in 45 seconds of gameplay, the Broncos will improve to 10-2 on the season. And we'll pick up their 5th conference win, with again the only loss coming to the number 5 ranked Cal State Dominguez Hills team. Broncos have had a particularly difficult schedule when you think about it. 2 of their 3 losses altogether, or rather both of their losses, I should say, Broncos only have 2 losses, have come to teams ranked inside the top 20. They lost to Azusa Pacific to start the year. APU was ranked 18th at that point. That's a good ball club. And they've lost to number 5 Dominguez Hills. They beat Montana State. That was the number 3 team. Many clubs out there have 3 ranked opponents already. A CSC on the spinner. That one falls out. Put back, however, will go for Mary Cotton, who had a monster of a first half. The Broncos are going to take a timeout. Cotton has not had the same impact since the mid-game break. Stuck at 12 points, has been that whole time. Ashanti Diaz has 8. She's had a pretty good second half. But the Broncos did a number on the key cogs on that Golden Eagles side. Lily Buggs only 8 points. Gabriela Ronas was not active for this one, so that's a little bit of a kneecapping for the Golden Eagles, although on the Broncos side, they don't have Finet, but Olivia Hodges averages 10 and 10. She's not anywhere near that in this ball game. Hodges 3 points, 6 rebounds, which I think that's a big win for the Broncos. That's the type of player that we've seen Cal Bob the Money struggle with a little bit in the past, even when they've had these very good. I mean, defensively, this team is almost as good as they get. But they dealt with Hodges as well as anyone ever has. And then Amaya Fuentes just 2 for 11 in the ball game, which some of that is good luck. Fuentes at 6'4". She's going to be able to shoot the 3-ball over most defenders, so you just kind of have to close your eyes and hope. But the Broncos are a very fast team. And this is a ball game where I argue they made maybe 2 defensive mistakes throughout. Marquez back to Buggs. Kalaya running away from Lily Buggs. The ball almost knocked away. Nelson now. Broncos just running clock. What was it? Foul. I was going to say there's about 7 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. So the Broncos could not have ended the game there, although the rest of this one academic, as they say. Cal State LA will fall to 7-4 with the defeat. They've had, however, I would argue, one of the toughest conference schedules of any team so far. They've played Dominguez Hills twice, again, a top 5 team in the country. And this Broncos team, also a ranked opponent, they'll have played them now. So it'll be 2-4 in conference play, but 3 of the 4 losses coming to top-tier opponents. The other conference loss for Cal State LA, I'm going to track it down. Oh, Cal State San Bernardino. That was 2 days ago. Also not a bad ball club, but more of an evenly matched game. And as we've mentioned, they haven't been as great on the road. They beat Monterey Bay and they beat Stanislaus State back at their spot. So again, this is not a bad Cal State LA team. Their overall record probably more indicative of their skill level than their conference record. And at some point, they're going to play an array of conference games against similarly skilled or lesser opponents, and they'll probably end up above 500. What a hard shot. Marquez has the rebound. Broncos lead by 12. I would think this will end the ball game if they can get it into the front court. And they do. So that should be it. 6 seconds to go. Whoops, a throwaway. All right, Cotton can take a last shot. That'll count. And it goes. So a little oopsies at the buzzer, but it doesn't matter. 63-53, final score. Broncos win it by 10, trailed by as many as 8 in this ball game. But a big second quarter and a big fourth quarter propel Cal Poly Pomona to a very nice victory. Broncos lost the first quarter by 4, won the second by 5, lost the third by 2, won the fourth by 13. Big fourth quarter from Kalaya BUGGS, and the Broncos now almost, but for that game against the Toros, nearly perfect in conference play. They improved to 5-1. 20-minute break coming. We got another game coming up in a minute. Men are ready to go. They're warming up before the women can even slap 5 and get off the court. This is about the most basketball players I've seen on the Kellogg Arena floor at any one time. It's pandemonium. It's not. It's fine. Thanks for listening or watching, however you're bringing in. Game 1. Broncos get 1. They'll try to make it 2 on the other side of the break. Men's team looking for a little bounce back after a sluggish Thursday. Can they get a win against Cal State LA? You'll have to wait and find out. Don't go anywhere. That's 1. We'll try to make it 2 when we come back. You are watching Broncos basketball on Flow Sports.